All right. Zach can say with Zach here. Hey, guys.
Strong Hockey Mom. Hey, Happy New Year.
Yep. New Year's Eve here. So the big game is tomorrow, the Winter Classic. This is a big deal for us. We've been watching these since since 2009. 2008 we were little.
The memory doesn't remember, but I know we did.
Yeah. So we started pretty much watching this almost from the beginning and watched almost every single one since then together. Yes. So it's a big deal for us tomorrow, again, with the 2020 Winter Classic. So we thought we'd do a quick video together, since she's here, of all the Winter Classics and kind of recall some memories in the games.
Some good, some bad.
Yeah.
Some indifferent.
Yep.
Some I don't recall.
Yeah, same. But yeah, so yeah, we're just gonna kind of go through it. So the first one was in 2008 in Buffalo. You had Pittsburgh taking on the Buffalo Sabres. The Penguins won 2-1 in a shootout. And Pittsburgh, I believe Crosby got the game winner goal, and Ty Coughlin was in net for Pittsburgh at the time. So Ty Coughlin played in the first two Winter Classics.
I don't remember that.
Because he played in the first outdoor game, which was Edmonton and Montreal. He played for Edmonton, then he played in the first Winter Classic for Pittsburgh, then the second one with Detroit. So he played in the first 3 outdoor games. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that fact. Anyways, so that was the first one, 2008. Again, we didn't really watch that one, so not a whole lot of memories with that one. But I'm glad they did it.
Just starting.
Yeah. 2009, Detroit versus Chicago. Do you remember this one?
Good one.
So I remember being in Michigan with my parents living in Chicago at the time.
Yeah.
I think I was in high school still at the time. I don't remember.
Yes, you were still in high school.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember sitting at my friend's house watching it in his living room, and me and her talking over the phone while we were watching it. Yes. And Chicago was winning this game most of the game until the third period, I believe, when Detroit came back and ended up winning this one 6-4. This was again the first time Detroit was in a Winter Classic, obviously, awesome. And it was at Wrigley Field. So Wrigley Field again, I used to work there for a little while. The Cubs play there. It was an awesome experience.
I'm just going to interject because since I was there, the city it was really cool since living there, watching them prepare Wrigley Field for this, and the news and the tours that they had of people can go in there and watch us and prepare, and it was just it was really exciting to be there, and I was really kind of upset that he couldn't be there to experience that, but it was really cool, really cool.
Especially because Chicago was kind of still just coming into its own, into the powerhouse and dynasty that they kind of became after this.
Right.
This was like the beginning of that, when the fan base was starting to build up again, because again, the Chicago Blackhawks had no fans until 2008. Like they had fans.
Problems there,
yeah, but the ownership was bad. They didn't have a really good team. So it was very hard, and like I remember even bars like around where we were, and then in the city, next to no Chicago stuff. Like you would not spot a Chicago Blackhawks apparel item, anything, almost anywhere in the city.
It's true.
And then 2010 hit, and it was all over the place. And everybody was a fan.
Yeah,
so those
I even got a memory from that. If you wants to go grab it, this was really cool.
I'll let her show that off. I'm gonna grab my memory.
So excited to get this the next day, January 2nd. I went and I got this from the store down the street. It's worn because I wear it a lot. I just love it because
we forgot we even had that until we were writing this down. She's like, I have the shirt. I'm like, what shirt?
So I remember getting this and living in it for the longest time, and I just love it. It's a good memory, and it was just a wonderful experience. I wished he had been there, but it was a great game. I loved it. We had fun. It was cold.
And my uncle lived like 2 blocks from the field at the time too.
Yes, at the time,
yeah, it was one of those things where I wish I would have been there. I was not though. But I got to experience it, and then obviously my 2009 hat. You may have seen me wear this. I don't remember, but I got this as well. So this is the oldest hat I own for Red Wing stuff, and I got it back in 2008. I think it was like December, October of 2008 when they released these. I got it, so this is like 12 years old. That hat. So yeah, old hat. But anyways, that was probably my favorite Winter Classic, just because again it was the second one ever. Chicago, Detroit at Wrigley Field. It was just kind of cool because I knew the area. I've been there.
And for me, I was there. It was awesome. My favorite team playing in the city where I live, to see all this excitement and Chicago is a great city. I love it. So it was just awesome way around.
I love the city. I'm not a big fan of the team. 2010 was Boston and Philadelphia. Boston wins this one in a 2-1 shootout. I don't remember this one. Like I remember watching it. I know I watched it because it was like the Philadelphia Flyers jerseys were pretty much the same as their normal ones. And I obviously have this hat, which I'm gonna take it off, from 2011, the Boston Bruins hat. I remember a lot about it. It played at Fenway Park in Boston, I believe. Yes, Fenway Park in Boston. Yes, because the 2012 was in Philadelphia. But yeah, that was another really cool one. Again, it was really cool to see them transform these baseball stadiums into an outdoor game. Kind of a again, just something unreal. I would have never thought I would see this back in the 90s when I first started watching hockey. Like a game played outdoors.
It makes so much sense. It's stupid.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a money grab. It is, but it's really cool, especially after us going to the Stadium Series game. It was a great experience. So I can see why they do it, and the fans love it. I can see why.
It's awesome.
Yeah. 2011, I remember a little bit about this one. It was Washington beating Pittsburgh 3-1. So the big things, we had a lot of family come in from out of town. Like they came in from, I think, the California family. Like my dad's side has a lot of people out in California.
Yeah.
People I've never really met before, but they all came in like, hey, let's have a New Year's party. And I was like, crap, because there's a hockey game on I want to watch. So I had to sit in front of the TV, like 2 inches from it in my little chair, watching the screen, no volume, because they're all talking super loud and they're a very loud family. And I had to try and watch this.
I don't think them are hockey fans.
Yeah.
I don't believe.
They're not. So yeah, I remember sitting there watching that, and I also remember Crosby coming back from his concussion and getting hit in that game and leaving again, and everyone was like, oh crap, could this be the end of Crosby's career because of the concussion problems he's got going on? Sorry guys, my storage on my phone is full, so I had to delete some stuff to make more room for the rest of this video.
But we're back.
But yeah, anyways, 2011 Winter Classic, Pittsburgh loses to Washington, Crosby gets hit, taken out again with concussion problems, family annoying, couldn't watch it with any volume.
Bottom line.
Yep. 2012. So I start to really remember stuff in 2014, but 2012 I do remember again Philadelphia playing against New York. This one I don't remember as much. I remember New York's logo was like the crest, but it was like kind of like a crunched up crest. But yeah, I don't remember this one as well. I know I watched it because again I usually always watch these games. But New York did win this one 3-2. In Philadelphia, which again I have the patch for here. I'm sure you guys have seen the Winter Classic patches. I do have them. I'm trying to get them all.
I'm kind of foggy on this one, people. Yeah. I'm sorry.
This one is probably one of the more foggier ones, like this one, and then the Boston.
And I don't know why.
Philly, and I remember the Boston Philly a little bit, but yeah, this one for some reason just really escapes me. I remember the logos for New York for some reason that sticks with me because the color of the jersey was like a vanilla looking color.
Oh, yeah, kind of like a dirty.
Yeah, dirty white almost.
Smoker's teeth white.
Yeah, smoker's teeth white. That's pretty much all I can remember. I remember that logo on that jersey. For some reason, that stands out for me. I don't know why. But anyways, that happened. 2013 was supposed to be the Detroit Red Wings and Toronto Maple Leafs at the Big House in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
Didn't happen because we had a lockout, shortened season. So they got rid of it because the season started, I believe, in January, a little after January.
Yes, it was later that.
Yeah, or it may even start in December. I know it started way too late from the Winter Classic, so they didn't have it that year, which I was like, of course, they would have a lockout the year it's supposed to be in Detroit, and I'm here, and I wanted to go to it. So 2014 rolls around.
And not the last time that this will happen. We'll get back to that.
So, yeah. I've missed 2 Winter Classics I was supposed to go to. Well, I guess 3, technically, including this one. 2014, Toronto and Detroit in Ann Arbor at the Big House, the biggest outdoor game to date. I do know the Dallas National one, I think, is second now with the amount of tickets sold. They're going to have the second biggest attendance to that game.
Yeah, that was
big. Snowstorm.
Even during the snowstorm.
So, didn't have any money at the time to go. So, didn't end up going. We're like, maybe we'll just go to Ann Arbor and hang out down there and watch it. Snowstorm happened. We live about 45 minutes or an hour from Ann Arbor. Yeah, we weren't going to make that trip out there because it was just like, there's no way I'm going to.
And I know people live out there and would say we could park and whatever, and they said that you would just, the parking, the amount of what's going on here, don't even bother. Yeah. Because they live there, and they said, you're not going to get close.
Yeah, so. It was just, it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So, I remember sitting here eating Little Caesars pizza and watching this game. Super excited. At this point, I couldn't go, but it's still fun to watch again. Detroit play.
It was cool.
And again, Toronto and Detroit are 2 of my favorite teams, so it's kind of cool to see them play in that game. Again, Toronto wins this one 3-2 in a shootout. I remember that. I have it actually on my phone. I bought it on the iTunes store, so I have that. Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah. It was cool.
Yep, and she has the jersey from that with Johan Franzen.
The man. Yep. You can see it, but yep.
Yep, so we have that. I remember, I thought it was the first Winter Classic jersey we actually have bought. Because they mass-produced these products, and they all went on clearance, so you can still find them now on clearance. That's how much they produced of this product. In 2009, you can sometimes here and there find a jersey.
They caught on, and they just started.
2014, it was just over flooded with these jerseys. Yeah. So, and then when they did the outdoor game against Colorado a couple of years later, they didn't mass produce them as much. But these jerseys, like I said, you can still find them in stores here now. If you want one, come to Detroit, you can find them. 2015, I did not watch this. So this is one of the 2 games I didn't watch. I didn't watch the first one and this one because they don't really announce it. It's like freaking Chicago again, a team I don't like. Yeah. They've won 2 cups already at this point. I'm kind of sick of Chicago. And then Washington. I wasn't a big fan of Washington at the time. And I was like, they're not rivals. Why am I watching this? And I believe to date this is still the lowest record viewing-wise of any Winter Classic because, again, Chicago, Washington, who cares?
Yeah.
That was my thing. Like, who cares about Washington and Chicago? Just like they did a Pittsburgh-Chicago game, outdoor game. Again, why? I get that they're both markets are very big, but anybody that's not in Washington or Chicago could care less about that game.
Exactly.
And me included. A lot of people in Chicago. So I'm going to tell you a little secret about Chicago fans as well. Or, I guess, bandwagon, not really fans. They don't watch till the playoffs start. So even though they had Chicago in the Winter Classic, nobody watched it. I honestly know people that are fans of hockey that didn't watch this game because they're like, I don't care. It's not playoffs. Let me know when April comes around.
It's the playoffs, exactly.
Yeah. So they got a little cocky very quickly.
There were a couple of fans that I knew in Chicago personally,
but yeah,
that were diehards. But most of the time, he's right. Most.
Yeah, and I was working. Not working. I keep forgetting where I was working at the time in Chicago. But yeah, like I said, nobody watched this game that I knew that was even hockey fans. So that's why, again, this one didn't really...
Was that the Red Apple that you were at that time?
It might have been the Big Apple.
Apple.
Yeah, I don't remember. I might have been working at the grocery store. I don't remember. Yeah. But anyways, Washington won that one 3-2. It was also ugly jerseys. Not a big fan of those jerseys either for that year. But yeah, that was the 2015 Winter Classic.
Down all the way around.
Yeah, I wasn't excited about that one. Now, 2016, do you remember this one? Montreal in Boston. Montreal made sure this wasn't a hockey game. It was 5-1 as the final. It was like that from pretty much the get-go. I do have, that's what this jersey is, the Winter Classic jersey from that game. I don't have the patch yet. I'm working on it.
I love my Habs.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, again, seeing two original 6 teams is always awesome to see in any of these Winter Classics. Especially, again, Boston-Montreal is a huge rivalry. Mm-hmm. But again, Montreal pretty much made this not even a game. 5-1 was pretty much how it was the whole game. I remember that. And I was sitting in Chicago watching it, I think, with some friends. I know a friend that I had a friend that owns a comic shop there, and then we watched it together, like a group of us watched it. I remember watching it, and I know Montreal got their Boston got their butts kicked, and I was like, this wasn't even really worth watching.
I watched it on the couch on my TV on Channel 9 because I live really close to Ontario, so I can watch.
Yeah, we usually watch most of these games
CBC.
Are starting to be on CBC because CBC's announcers are just better than NBC's.
Way better.
Yeah. 2017, St. Louis taking out Chicago. I was working at Burke's Bar and Grill in Chicago. If you guys check it out, you can see a place I used to work. Yeah, so my friend, she's a bartender there. She always makes sure there's hockey on in the back room. So I was a dishwasher in the kitchen, and there's 2 different rooms in this building. And she always made sure, like, because the back room didn't really have a lot of people, she always made sure there was hockey on that back room, like NHL Network and stuff like that.
She took care of my boy.
Yeah, so and this one is also on January 2nd instead of January 1st because they had the Centennial Classic.
I forgot. Yeah.
Yep, the Centennial Classic was on January 1st, which is Toronto and Detroit.
That's right. I remember now.
So this happened in the 2nd, and it was super rainy and really kind of warm and like muggy in St. Louis. Actually, I remember that they had problems keeping the ice.
Which is a typical thing in St. Louis because it's.
I remember watching the pregame stuff. It was all foggy and stuff like that. And it was very rainy and dreary during that game.
Don't like Missouri weather.
Hey guys, so we just realized our storage is full on the phone. I just deleted a whole bunch of stuff. This is our 5th take of this. It's been very annoying. St. Louis, 2017, won 4-1 over Chicago. Worked at a bar. Good friend. Foggy. Not great conditions. St. Louis won. There. 2018, 10-year anniversary of the Winter Classic. New York Rangers beat the Buffalo Sabres 3-2 in overtime. Again, I remember watching this one. Wasn't a big fan of it because, again, not a big fan of New York Rangers. Buffalo, I'm a fan of, mainly for my friend Nora because she's a fan and I would like to see them do good for them. But again, I didn't really have any real attachment to either one of these teams overall. Yeah. 2019 was the rough one. So, having to explain this for the 3rd time now today.
Yeah.
It's great to recall this constantly.
Over and over.
2019 doesn't want me to forget it. It's making sure the last day it's getting its time.
It was the year of the accident when the car hit my boy and almost took my boy.
I bought the tickets to this game. So this is the 3rd game I was supposed to go to. The day before I got into a massive car accident where I almost died. I shouldn't be here talking to you today because it was so bad. So I didn't get to go to that one. It was at Notre Dame, a few hours away. You were excited to go. Of course, I didn't get to go.
Didn't go. Surprise! No.
So, yeah, it was a whole thing. I had to get our money refunded from Ticketmaster. So now I had to call and get that all figured out. I was in a neck brace. I remember sitting on the couch New Year's Day. Turning on the game. I turned on the game. And then I don't remember much else after that because I was popped up on drugs and half dead on the couch.
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyways, Boston wins this one 4-2 over Chicago. Again, I don't remember much. I just know that they won. And I had to look that up later because, again, I wasn't awake.
We were supposed to have been there, and we weren't.
Yeah. And because we're trying to get this done a little bit quicker now because my phone's been acting up.
Moving on.
2020, this year, which is tomorrow, Dallas versus Nashville. I'm super excited about because neither team has been in the Winter Classic yet.
Right.
So, excited about that. To see 2 new teams, even though the jerseys are awful.
Exciting.
Dallas is actually growing on me a little bit. Nationals is just hideous.
The colors.
Yeah, and the word mark and the
Oh, the words I can get past.
everything about it. I
the
just
colors,
hate Nationals jersey every way, shape, and form.
Could have done better. Could have done better.
Oh yeah. But anyways,
right.
that is your rundown of all the Winter Classics today and some
I'm
of our
sure
fun
he'll
memories.
go over the game tomorrow. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a review of it, and yeah, so I'm gonna splice this together. So it's gonna be a little choppy.
And
but
and I'm going with Nashville. I know Dallas is. I know they're supposed to, but I'm rooting for Nashville.
Yeah. And also, sorry, just a little comment too. 2021, we've heard rumors that's supposed to be Winnipeg, Minnesota, possibly in Minnesota. So that one I'd be excited about. I'd like to
we
try.
Can make that.
We'll try for a 4th time's a charm and try and hit that one actually. But we'll see. All right. Anyways, that is our rundown of the Winter Classics and our experiences, our fun memories of them, and we get to make a new one tomorrow.
So you guys make sure you tune in, watch the game, have fun. We're gonna enjoy it, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. You guys enjoy your new year. New team games.
Yep.
And I think we made it through.
Yeah, finally. Finally, 4 attempts later. Anyways, this is Zach and Say With Zach.
And Drunk Hockey Mom. Have a good one, guys.
If you like our video, give us a like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again later.
Bye.